The brand new season is about to begin and we are on tierlist.com, so that can only mean one thing. It is now time to predict the finishing positions for the Scottish Premiership this season. Welcome back, guys, to Son of Scotland TV. You can see it here, first down to 12. I'm going to predict all the finishing positions and I'm happy with my picks. I've looked at the squads, I've looked at the players, the managers, the clubs, the teams. I've looked at everything. And I'm feeling confident this could be my most accurate predictions yet. Now, if I happen to be wrong, if Hearts finish higher than I predict them to, I'll be happy. But for the most part, I think I've got these teams pretty much spot on. Now, I'm not going to predict League 1, 2 and the Championship. I've already done them on my co-op channel. So you can go to Fog Football and see my predictions for those other leagues. But as of right now, it is time to get straight into it. Let's look at the clubs that we have, and now it's time to put these clubs in the correct position. Now, coming in at 12, the reason I'm putting this team in at 12 is I do believe they have arguably the weakest team and also possibly the weakest manager, which is not a good combination. I mean, you can maybe get away with having one, but when you've got both of them, then I think you will struggle, and for me, that person in that club is St Johnstone. I'm going to put St Johnstone in 12th. I think they've lost some key players. They've lost Liam Gordon, which I think will be a blow. Craig Levein, to me, isn't the man that is going to, bring you success. He's just not. I'll give him credit. Last season, he came in and straight away he got St Johnstone playing. However, after the initial 2 months, it was diabolical, really. It was. And the only thing that kept St Johnstone in the league was the fact that Livingston were so shit, and Ross County, they had managerial problems as well. So, yeah, I think Craig Levein deserves credit for his initial takeover of St Johnstone, but it quickly went downhill and it got stale. And without that bounce at the beginning, without that new manager bounce, I think St Johnstone this year will struggle. Speaking of struggling, I'm putting in at 11th place Ross County. They struggle every season. They're always round and about the relegation spots, whether it be 12th or 11th. I think they will be in that position again this season, and I think it's only a matter of time before their luck runs out. And if they do finish 11th, which I'm predicting them to, I think we could see them actually go down this time via the playoffs. So yeah, I'm putting Ross County in at 11th. In 10th place, I'm going to go with Dundee United. Now, I'm not convinced about Jim Goodwin. I don't think he's a good enough manager. I don't think he's the man to take Dundee United to where they want to go. And I would imagine, based on the size of the club and the history and the fact that they do produce good youth players, I think that Dundee United can build a good squad in the Premiership. I think they should be aiming for top 6. Maybe not this season, but I do believe once they get back into the league, they should be aiming to get up there and mixing it with the likes of Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs. I think that's where Dundee United should be. I don't think they will be there, though, under Jim Goodwin. If they can stay in the league, which I think will be a struggle, then that will be good for them. But I'm not going any higher than 10th. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished below 10th, but I would be a little bit shocked if they finished higher than 10th. That's if they keep Jim Goodwin. Now, if they get rid of Jim Goodwin and they bring in a better manager, then who knows? Maybe they could finish higher. But for now, I'm sticking Dundee United in 10th. In 9th, I'm going to go with Motherwell. Lost a lot of key players. Theo Bair, gone. Blair Spittle, gone. Liam Kelly, gone. Now, they did bring in, Liam Gordon, who I think will be a good addition to the team, and he will help them defensively for sure. But I still think overall, even though they've brought in quite a lot of players, I think they've lost a few key players, and that could be the difference. I think Stuart Kettlewell's a decent manager. I think Motherwell are too good to go down, but yeah, for me, they'll finish 9th. I don't know if they'll finish any higher than that. So, to me, Motherwell kind of not good enough to really push for top 6, but not quite bad enough to be in the relegation battle. That's what I believe. Coming in 8th place, I'm going to go with Hibernian. I see another poor season for Hibs this upcoming year. I don't think David Gray is the man to take them forward. We don't know. I mean, he could prove us wrong, but we just haven't seen enough. We've seen the odd caretaker role from David Gray, and now of course he's been in the job permanently with the Fireplay Cup, the League Cup, but I don't think they were that great in that year. They had some good results, but they also had that shocking defeat to Kelty Hearts. Now David Gray could prove us wrong, but I'm going a safe 8th place here. I think that if Hibs finished 8th, and as long as It's not good enough, but I think David Gray can get away with an 8th place finish. Now, obviously, when they bring in, like Nick Montgomery, and he's coming in with pedigree, and he's coming in after a successful run in Asia, Hibs are expecting him to get off the ball running, and get off to a really good start. So 8th place for Nick Montgomery is shit, but I think if David Gray gets 8th place, him being a club legend and it being his first job as a manager, I think there'll be a bit more leeway. So I don't think it's a good finish, but I think it'll be a finish that's good enough for David Gray, and that's where I'm putting Hibs. I'm putting them in at 8th place. Coming in at 7th, unfortunately, I think they will just miss out on the top 6. I'm going with Dundee. Yeah, Tony Docherty done a great job there, but I just can't really put them any higher. I believe that 7th is what they will do. If they can get into the top 6 again, then fantastic. What an achievement that would be, and congrats to them. And well played, but I don't think they will. I think they'll fall a little bit short. But great season last year. 7th, I think, would be another great way to follow that up. Yeah, I mean, you look at Dundee, they probably shouldn't be in the top 6. They're not really a top 6 club. So if they can just get a 6th place finish, then follow it up with a 7th place finish, then I think that would be, well enough for them. And I mean, who knows? If we see Dundee finish 7th this season, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Docherty is getting calls from other clubs, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm going with Dundee to finish 7th. Alright, so up next we have the top 6. Who's going to come in 6th place? I'm going to go with St Mirren. So I'm going with St Mirren to miss out on European football. What a great result they had, by the way, against the Icelandic team. But I don't think they will get European football next season. I think they'll just fall a little bit short. And mainly, the only reason I'm putting them down a place from last year is I just think that Aberdeen will improve. I think that Aberdeen have to improve. They're bringing in an experienced manager. They've brought in players. I think Aberdeen have to improve. There's no room for failure at Aberdeen, whereas I think there is a little bit of room for failure at Hibs. That's why I'm putting Hibs down in 8th, but I'm putting Aberdeen up in the top 6 above St Mirren and into 5th place. I think Aberdeen will finish 5th. I wouldn't consider it a good season, but I would consider it acceptable. I think if they finish 5th and they sneak a place in Europe and there's signs of improvement and the football's decent, then I think Aberdeen will take that, and I think they'll be happy enough with that, and then hope that Jimmy Phelan can work on it and build on it for the following season, and then maybe try and mount a challenge for 3rd place. Coming in at 4th, I'm going to go with Kilmarnock. Not a lot to say, really. Derek McInnes, I rate him as a manager. I think he'll build on what he done last season. Could they get closer to Hearts? I mean, possibly. They were pretty close last year. Although I do expect Hearts to improve. Will Kelly improve? Not too sure, but I'm going to go with Kelly in 4th. Right, up next we have the top 3 clubs, in my opinion. Obviously, we know the Old Firm are head and shoulders above everyone else. And then you've got Hearts, who I think are quite clearly the 3rd best team right now. So where am I going in terms of predictions? I've heard a lot of people say that Hearts will finish above Rangers, and as much as I would love that to happen, I just don't necessarily see it. So with that said, I'm going to go with Hearts in 3rd place. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not going to put Hearts to win the league. If you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. If we can finish 3rd and close the gap to Rangers, if we could finish 3rd and finish within a single points digit of Rangers, I would consider that success. So yeah, I don't expect us to mount a league challenge or mount a challenge for 2nd, but if we can get closer and then build on that for the following season, I mean, that would be a step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. Plus, I think Hearts have had the best transfer window out of all the teams. You look at the players that we've brought in, I am positive, I am excited, and I think we will finish closer to Rangers than Kelly will finish to us. There you go, that's a prediction. I think we'll finish closer to Rangers than Kilmarnock will finish to us. I'm sticking with that. And obviously that kind of gives away my secondary pick. I'm going with Rangers. I just don't see Rangers doing this. I put them in 1st there by accident. I don't see Rangers winning their 56th title. I see Celtic actually winning their, is it 55th title? Would Celtic equal them? I've lost count. If Celtic win this title, are they on 55? I believe so. So I see Celtic, or are they on 56? Honestly, can't remember, but I see Rangers falling short again under Clement, and that means that in 1st place I am going with the reigning champions. I'm going with Celtic to unfortunately make it 4 in a row. I just think they have the strongest team by quite a distance, to be honest. You look at the midfield that Celtic have, you compare it to Rangers midfield, and Celtic are far ahead of them. I compare the attacking options. I do expect Celtic to strengthen in that area, But I just look at the players that Celtic have going forward. You've obviously got Kyogo down the middle, who's the main man, a lot better than Dessers. But even the other players, you've got Maida, who is, so quick. Pressing is phenomenal. He's such a dangerous player every time he plays Rangers. Nicholas Kuhn looked really good in pre-season. I expect we might see even more for him. Even Palmer at times I think can look decent. I just look at Rangers and in the attack, they just seem toothless. I think their best attacking player last season was probably Sima, even though he got injured, and unfortunately they've not managed to retain him. They couldn't afford to bring him back. So, yeah, I think that Celtic will just outscore Rangers, and if you're getting outscored dramatically, then I don't think you can win the league. Is Rangers' defence good enough to, counteract Celtic's attacking options up front? That I don't agree with. I don't think so. I think Celtic might arguably have a better defence/goalkeeper as well. So, yeah, I'm going with Celtic to win the league, guys, over Rangers. So that's my order. I'm going Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, St Mirren, Dundee, Hibernian, Motherwell, Dundee United, Ross County, and St Johnstone. Let me know your thoughts down below, but that's my predictions. I'm not changing them, and I think I'm going to get at least 8 of these right. I've got a feeling that it's going to be a good season for predictions. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm happy with my predictions. 1 or 2 might be wrong, but even then, the 1 or 2 that I think I might get wrong, it's probably just going to be, like 1 position out. I can't imagine it being far wrong. I'm looking at this year's season, and it just looks pretty easy. It looks pretty predictable to me. Not in a bad way. I don't think it'll be boring, but, I just think there's certain teams that are, not levels above, but I think there's just certain teams that are they're just a little bit better than the other teams, and I see that being enough, and that's why I predicted these finishes. So anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Been Sun Scotland TV. Looking forward to the start of the season. Rangers versus Hearts. Can we get off to a good start? I'm hoping so. I'm praying so. Be fantastic to get 3 points on the board in the very first game against one of the Old Firm. Hopefully we can do it. I'll catch you tomorrow for the match review. Till then, though, peace.